General Hospital latest update. A chilling twist hits General Hospital as Albrecht detects pure evil in Willow, just as Sasha and Daisy vanish to Europe, with Jason spotting a shocking familiar face boarding a flight to Croatia. Meanwhile, Joss is revealed as WSB, and Portia vows to take Drew down, no matter the cost. Albrecht recognizes the devil in Willow, and Jason spots a familiar face boarding a flight to Spoiler. Today on General Hospital, Sasha bids Jason farewell. Portia tells Curtis she's going to turn herself in, and Anna and Dante realize Joss is working for the WSB. Somewhere in the countryside outside of Paris, Robert welcomes home his girls and tells Sasha how excited he and Holly are that they are here. Jason enters the cottage with them, and Sasha says Daisy needs a diaper change. Robert points her in the direction of the nursery that they've set up for her. She tells Robert and Jason to behave while she's gone. Robert thanks Jason. Alone, Jason offers to leave. Robert says he'd love nothing more for him to do so, but not before he says thank you. He says decades ago, Jason stepped up for Robin, and now he's stepped up for Sasha and Daisy, so he's grateful to him. Jason says Michael also respects Robert and knows he'll keep Sasha and Daisy safe. Sasha returns, and Daisy is asleep in the nursery. Jason says he should get going as he has a plane to catch. Sasha walks him out. Is this goodbye for Sasha? Outside, Sasha says she's realized, while putting Daisy down, that she's not afraid anymore, and she feels she's doing the right thing, leaving Port Charles. Jason says she's a good mom and can spend time with her parents and discover out what it's like to be a family. However, Jason says she'll always have a home to come back to and to call if she needs anything. Sasha tears up and feels as if she's losing her security blanket. She gives him 2 kisses on his cheek, one for her and one for Daisy. Sasha returns to Robert, thanks him for everything, and is happy she finally has someone to call a dad. Daisy cries, and she goes to tend to her. Carly provides Anna with answers. At the PCPD, Anna invites Carly into her office and apologizes in advance for being a nosy grandma, but asks how much she knows about Joss' new boyfriend. Carly wouldn't call him her boyfriend, and since when is Joss dating life her business? Anna says since it involves her granddaughter's future. Anna tells her about seeing Emma on a date with Vaughn, and she joined them for a drink to get a sense of the guy. But then Joss appeared, staked her claim on Vaughn, and they went off and had an enamor's reunion. Carly says her daughter has always been direct and hopes Emma wasn't upset. Anna doesn't think Emma even had an interest in the guy. The real prize was taking him from Joss. Carly says she doesn't police Joss' dating life, and she doesn't know what's going on with them, but this is the first guy she's shown interested in since Dex died. Anna feels Joss is looking for a different outlet in Vaughn. Joss was fixated on proving Cyrus killed Dex for months. This is news to Carly. Carly says that at least Cyrus is presumed dead and assumes Joss let the Cyrus thing go, as she went on this last-minute trip to Easter Island. She explains that when Joss returned, it was as if a switch had flipped for her. She committed herself to this physics class and landed a position with Dalton. Anna asks if that's when she started this thing with Vaughn. Carly says it is and asks if she knows something she's not telling her. Anna claims she doesn't. Carly says if Vaughn is taking Joss' mind off her grief and helping her live her life, then she's okay with it. Carly thanks Anna for the heads up, but she knows Joss. Once her mind is made up, there is no talking her out of it, and she'll have to make her own mistakes, just like her mom. Carly leaves. Special agents Vaughn and Jax report for duty. At the PC airport, Joss and Vaughn put on a show, acting as if he is about to leave town. They hug, and Vaughn says they have one shot to intercept the package. The mystery woman arrives, and Joss gets into position. Alone, Vaughn texts someone. In a security office, Dante is watching the cameras and sees Joss and Vaughn putting on their act. When he sees Vaughn alone texting, he wonders who he's texting and who he is waiting for. Back in the airport, Vaughn pretends to bump into the mystery woman and flirts with her. As he distracts her, Joss walks by and slips a tracker into her bag. The woman heads to her flight, and Joss and Vaughn check their phones and see the tracker is on the move. A family reunion of sorts. In Crimson's office, Willow walks in as Albrecht tells Nina that it's clear her daughter's life is falling apart in her absence. Willow asks if she can join them, or is she excluded from this conversation, given that her life is a mess. Willow says hello to Aunt Liesel, and Nina insists she didn't tell her anything. Albrecht has been keeping tabs on her family while away. She is aware of Willow's divorce and is grappling with how she lost custody of her children. How did she not end up with shared custody? Willow explains that Michael isn't the man her aunt remembers. She insists he's become vindictive and cruel. Albrecht remembers him staying by her side when she had little hope of surviving. Willow admits he did, but Liesel and Drew were the ones who saved her life and were her heroes. She began to realize how kind and supportive Drew is, and she likes who she is around him. They fell in love, and Michael is punishing her for it. Albrecht points out it might have been prudent not to move in with Drew while her husband was in Germany getting life-saving treatment. Willow explains they were trying to give their kids a stable home, and Michael was unfaithful too. The judge held her to a different standard, and now Michael has 3 children under his roof, and she has none. Nina tells her daughter that, sadly, that's no longer the case. Nina explains that Sasha decided to leave Port Charles with Daisy. Willow is relieved to learn Michael didn't go with her and take her children with them. She asks why Sasha left. Nina says there have been incidents with Daisy, and they fear Sonny's enemies are using Daisy to send a message. Albrecht calls using a child sick, and Nina agrees. Nina says it doesn't appear that Sasha is coming back anytime soon, and Michael supports her decision, as heartbreaking as it is for him. Willow turns her back, pours a drink, and smiles. Willow then picks up the wedding binder Maxie left behind, hopes to see more of her Aunt Liesel soon, and gives Nina a huge hug for being such a comfort to her over the past weeks. Willow leaves, and Albrecht tells Nina in a stern voice, "There is something very wrong with your daughter." She points out the look of devilish joy on Willow's face when she learns Sasha left with Michael's baby, and that woman is not the same woman she knew when she left. She says Willow's behavior and actions are inexcusable. Nina explains it is Drew's influence over her, so Albrecht says they must break the tie between them immediately. What has Portia decided? At Aurora, Portia appears in Curtis' office and explains that she slept at the hospital last night. She tells Curtis this has to end so Drew has nothing to hold over them. She is going to face the hospital board and confess to all, and she knows they'll take this to the state medical board. Even if she faces criminal charges, she can't spend another day under Drew's thumb. Curtis asks what Drew is asking her to do now. Portia explains that Drew wants her to alter Michael's blood tests to make it look like he's abusing opioids. Drew knows this will cost Michael custody of his children, and it has to end. Curtis asks her to think about what this will cost her. She doesn't care, as she won't break her oath and harm a patient. She worked too hard to get where she is, and she's taking her power back. Drew Kane can go to hell. Curtis is worried about her as she's talking about throwing away the career she loves. Portia says it is her fault, and actions have consequences. Curtis fears that Trina will blame herself for this, as Portia broke the law for her and could be imprisoned. Is she willing to risk prison time? Portia says no matter what choice she makes, someone will get hurt. She'd rather die than break Trina's heart, but at least Trina will see her mother standing up for herself. Drew Kane doesn't get to win. In the show's final moments. At Aurora, Curtis tells Portia that she's remarkable, and he agrees with what she said. She senses a but coming. He says they have to be certain these steps are the only ones to take, and she can't take this back. Portia is ready to face the consequences. He feels she's about to walk away from everything she's worked for. Portia doesn't see another choice, and there may not be another way out. Curtis wants her to be sure this is the only move she has left. At Crimson, Albrecht tells Nina that she understands it's difficult to see who one's child really is, the good, the bad and the ugly. That was true for her and Britta, as well as Britta seeing who her mother was. Nina admits she's afraid of losing Willow every day, and nobody despises Drew as much as she does. She's tried to make Willow see reason. Albrecht says there is always a way, and Drew must have a skeleton in his walk-in closet. The man seduced his nephew's wife, so they have to find something to destroy the hold Drew has on Willow. Willow returns to the hospital and calls Michael. She says she heard Sasha and Daisy left, and she's so sorry. She knows how painful it is to be separated from your child, and she'd never want that for him or any parent. Now that he sees how awful it is there no room for compromise? In Europe, Sasha brings Daisy out to meet her grandpa Robert. At the PCPD, Anna speaks with Dante on the phone. Dante says all signs point to Vaughn being WSB, and he's sure a tracker was planted on the woman he was watching. Anna asks if Vaughn was working alone. Dante says he wasn't, and she'll never guess who. Anna cuts him off and says, Jocelyn Jacks. At the airport, Vaughn and Joss realize the woman is heading to the Paris airport, but is that her final destination? At the very airport in Paris, Jason is waiting for his flight. A woman rushes by him when a flight to Croatia is called. She catches his attention, and we see a woman who looks just like Brit zip by. On the next General Hospital, Jason demands to speak to the woman on the flight to Croatia. Thanks for watching this videos. Please hit the subscribe button for more updated news.